Hey guys, so today we're going to take a look at the CCA CA16. So this is the latest 16 driver system from CCA. CCA is really popular here in this channel. I do like the CCA C12 and also C10. It's one of our top fives. But this one is really interesting because it's a 16 driver system and now it's just $51 in AliExpress. So that's really a good price for a 16 driver system. This is the first time that I have seen this kind of IAM in that kind of price point. So build-wise, it's actually a bit different from other CCAs. So right now it has some fins, which is really cool. I just like it. It's more stable on the air. It's a custom IAM kind of design. The plastic feels okay, but it's not the most premium build that I have seen. So it doesn't have the metal trims that the CCA C12 has. The cable is also the typical KZ cable. The tips included is a silicone tip. It's a bit different from your usual KZ. It's much like what you get with the Fail Hibiscus. It's a different kind of shape of tip, but it's comfortable to wear. These are also very stable on the air, and of course with that ear hooks, it's really stable when you're even walking outside. So I do like the overall fit in this. It's very comfortable to wear and also stable also. And it's also pretty light, so you can definitely wear this for a long listening session without any issues. So if I'm gonna nitpick, it's just the cable that I have a big issue with. Of course, you would want to change the cables up for this one. So if you want to take a look at more details on the unboxing experience, I did an unboxing of this one. Links up here if you want to check out the full details. But let's proceed to the sound. So sound-wise, these are really interesting, especially in the price point that this is in. So frankly speaking, this is one of the most detailed pairs that I have heard in that kind of $51 price range. Just take note, guys, that the $51 is a sale going on right now, so it might go up in price. Firstly, I do like the sound here. It's very close to the CCA C12. So this is a U-shaped sound, a little bit of elevation on top, around the 6K region. So firstly, yes, I do like the sound here. It reminds me of the CCA C12, but make this a touch more detailed, a little bit more prominent bass, but a little bit more relaxed in the CA16 over the C12. And also, it's a fun sound overall with that hybrid kind of sound, with that mixture of dynamic driver and also balanced armature. Tonality here, while I find it better compared to the C12s, it's not the best here. I will still grab dynamic drivers over this. But actually with this one, it's really interesting because yeah, it's better compared to the other BAs that I have tried. It's closer to dynamic drivers in terms of the overall presentation. It has that smoothness to the sound, which is really interesting. Smoothness that I found maybe more expensive BA-based IAMs like maybe the BGBPs. The highs are super extended on top. It's near sibilance, but I like the fact that it's not that peaky on top. Similar to the C12, it's a bit tamed high. So compared to the ZSX, I do like this one. I find the ZSX to have more peak at the top compared to this one. It's also nicely detailed on top. So my only issue here is the cymbals can sound still a bit thin. Like in Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing, the cymbals in the right side sounds lacking some body. Also the same as in Let's Groove, Earth, Wind, and Fire. The cymbals sound a bit thin for me. I would say this is not the strength of the CA16. But the mids though is the strength in this one. So this is one of my favorite mids in this kind of price range. Compared to the BA5, this is more relaxed in terms of the overall presentation. But I do like the richness in the mids here. So again, it's more kind of smooth in a way in terms of the overall presentation. So the mids are one of the best mids that I've heard for a BA setup. The vocals are not that hot. It's tamed, still pretty rich in presentation. It's still in the relaxed side. But this has great detail again. Resolves guitar picking and micro detail pretty nicely. Like in Summer Song, Satriani, it resolves some micro detail in the rhythm. Overdriven guitars of Joe. Guitars are also full-bodied. But if I'm gonna nitpick, the mids here are not that lively compared to your other IEM. So maybe compared to the BA5. The BA5 is more lively compared to this one. So if you prefer a more lively, aggressive type of sound, you might prefer other IAMs. But again, for casual listening, the mids here are spot on for me. I can listen to this for a long listening session without any issues. The bass is in the boomy side, definitely prominent in the mix, but this is not for bass heads. This is not your bass heavy kind of IAM. It doesn't overpower the mids, which is good. It's still fairly tame, so it's more relaxed in presentation. It has a bit of punch, but for bass heads, again, this is not for you. This is not your bassy IAM. The bass are a bit more toned down in this one, a bit more mellow in this one. The tuning is pretty good again in this one. For a U-shaped sound, it's what you expect. The female vocals for me are on point in this one. I like the positioning. The male vocals are a bit more recessed than what I would like, but there's a touch of bump in the mids region, so it gives it a little bit more life. Yeah, there's still U-shaped sound through and through. The male vocals are a bit more back in the mix than what I would like. Sound stage is above average, and this one it's fairly big, which is good. The instruments are spread apart nicely. Imaging, just okay, and this one not the best that I have heard. But separation is pretty good in this one with that fairly big stage, and also BA kind of presentation. Separation is pretty good. I can pinpoint the instruments easily on this one. Right, so compared to the younger brother, the CCA C12, so the CA16 is even more relaxed compared to the C12. The C12 is more aggressive sounding, more lively sounding, even compared to the CA16. And I already described the C12 to be relaxed kind of IM, but this is even more relaxed, more tamed compared to the CA12. So on the ear, the CA16 sounds a bit more veiled compared to the C12. C12 is more sparkly, the highs have more sizzle than the CA16. The C12 also has a smaller stage, a touch less detail in the 12, especially in the mids region. I find the mids better, of course, in the CA16, fuller, richer. The bass is more tamed in the C12. The CA16 has more prominent bass in the mix. So they're in the same family of sound. They're slightly different. They're not super far off. If you like a more lively sound, you might want to go with the C12. But otherwise, for me, the CA16 is definitely my preference now over the C12 because of that better mids for me, and also a bit better tuning for me compared to the C12. Compared to the 10 T3, in terms of presentation, the T3 is cleaner sounding. Thinner than the CA16. Both are not that aggressive sounding, but I find the T3 to be even more aggressive and more lively compared to the CA16. The T3 has a more neutral tuning compared to the CA16, but the T3 has a bit of elevation at the top. Separation of instruments is more pronounced in the T3 still, so they're both different. For monitoring or mixing work, I would go with a T3. It has still better separation, easier to pinpoint the instruments. But for casual listening, I do like the CA16 more now compared to the T3. So compared to the TRN BA5, so the BA5 is cleaner sounding, more aggressive, lively sounding. Also, the vocals are more forward in the BA5 compared to the CA16. Tighter sound also in the BA5 because it's an all BA kind of design. It's not a hybrid compared to the CA16. So the BA5 is more clean, overall presentation more tight. However, the CA16 has more rich mids even compared to the BA5. Slightly bigger stage also in the CA16. So for critical listening and monitoring, I would still go with the BA5. For casual listening, I would go with the CA16. The CA16 also is more smooth in presentation, so they're a bit different. It will be kind of up to you which one is for you. Right, so in terms of amp pairing, I did like this with more detailed amplifiers, with more clean amplifiers. So I did like this with my Chord Yugo. I did like the overall listening. It just brought up a bit more nuance to the overall sound of the CA16. For my tube, I didn't like it that much. I still prefer the kind of more clean sound of the Yugo. So if you're gonna pair this, so try to gear towards more of a clean or detailed sources. I think it will bring out more of the sound of the CA16. Right, so for the CA16, so for $50, I would say there's a lot of value for the money. 16 drivers for $50. Just that alone is a unique selling point. It's the cheapest that I have seen for a 16 driver system. And add to the fact that it has nice mids for me, fairly good tuning overall. Right, so for that alone, I think it's worth the try, worth the money. But of course, in terms of cons, still has a bit of thin highs on top, and the male vocals can still be more forward in the mix. And of course, in terms of tonality, there's still a BA-based IEM, so it's still not the best. So take note of that when you are gonna buy. If you're okay with the concept I mentioned, maybe this is something that you can consider. But definitely, yes, I do recommend this for casual listeners. This is very nice for that. For monitoring and mixing, I would go with other IEMs. And also, if you prefer a BC kind of sound, you might prefer another IEM. But if you're looking for vocals and if you're looking for nice mids, this is definitely something that you can consider in the price range. I will recommend this for those types of people. Alright, so that is my review of the CA16. Hopefully you learned something, and of course, if you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. The T2 Plus is coming to me. Still the Blonde 05, I still can't get it, so that's unfortunate. KB04, I am also unboxing a TWS. Also from Tin Hi-Fi, so that's really interesting. From Tribit also, so yeah, I have several, but still stuck in the post office, but hopefully I can get it really soon. We have a lot more in store here, so subscribe here in this channel for that. And of course, thanks for watching. Keep safe, guys, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.